What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name's Mac. This is my YouTube channel, How to Heal. I like to go over things that I've found very helpful for my own healing, my own journey towards more peace, happiness, contentment, gratitude, and some thoughts and ideas that I've found very helpful for cultivating a better mindset, a more effective, directional mindset towards the things that I want to work towards. So we'll start off today's video with a nice stretch. And if it looks like I've been binge wearing the same clothes, it's because I have been for one day for now. I'm just knocking out a whole bunch of videos, so we'll get right into it. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. And again, today's video is kind of a bit of a continuation on the video from yesterday. So it's around attachment to things, which I think is going to be a really powerful common theme moving forward, because I think it's basically the core of everything, but attachment to things. So one thing I've noticed a lot in this last year with the pandemic and everything is definitely like a splitting of consciousness. There's a lot of people who kind of, I think, have realized the inevitable lack of control that there is in a lot of external things, and they found peace in this. And there's a lot of people who have found a new desire for more control because maybe their views are different in the sense of they don't feel that they feel temporarily lack of control, but they still feel like, oh, before this I had control and I just need to get that back and then everything's going to be okay, right? But I think there's a lot of peace in acknowledging that maybe we never really had control. There's some things we do have control of, which are really powerful, being our mental state, and there's many things external to us that we don't have control over. And the one thing I think that's been really carried a lot of weight, I would say, in the last year has been the need and the want for safety and comforts, right? People don't feel safe, and they're willing to do many things to get this idea of safety back, right? There's this, I feel this craving for normality, right? But what I feel is a truth is this is the normal. This is the new normal, because everything's always changing, and whatever is happening is naturally what is. That is the normal, right? But I think, as I have been attached to, a lot of people are attached to the past, maybe 2 years ago, as their perception of normal. And I will do A, B, C, and D to get that normal back. Everything would be okay if I could just get that normal back, which is basically like, I'll be happy when I have control of things that I don't have control over and will never really have control over. But the confusion here, I think, is leading to a lot of pain and suffering, right? And a pretty aggressive cycle of fear, and invoking of fear and invoking of like shame and guilt, because people are willing to, people's idea of getting this normal back, which I don't think, right? Like, things are never going to return to exactly how they were. They just always are as they are, if that makes sense. But people are attaching this to a sense of safety. And the more they see things falling out of line of the narrative, right? That like maybe the news is saying we got to do this, 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 and this. And I think working together on a common goal is great. It's amazing. But I think shaming and guilting as a means to try and get control over stuff you don't have control over is just further perpetuating like a painful fear cycle, right? So what I mean by that is like saying you have to do this because it's going to get us back to a normal that doesn't really exist. We're just going to continue to find a new equilibrium. We're going to find a new balance of how things are. But saying we have to do these things can just kind of result in people ostracizing what they deem to be outliers that aren't going with how things are supposed to be. And now it's like, well, this threatens my normal. I want my normal back, and you're threatening it. So I'm going to attack you. I'm going to shame you. I'm going to say you're a horrible person for doing that, right? Like maybe when things were really aggressive in lockdown, someone who hadn't been in contact with anyone at all went to go see a loved one that may pass away because they thought this may be the last time they see them. But then maybe their friends hear this and feeling that their reality or their normal, their future normal, is threatened, and they're feeling this fear and this, again, this lack of control that inevitably we don't have. They feel like, oh, I got to keep this person in check. They're threatening my normal. I gotta guilt them and shame them into conforming so I can get my needs met. And it can basically teach us to do these really awful things against each other that cause a lot of pain, right? Like you may say, you shouldn't have done that. That's a horrible thing to do. You shouldn't be seeing people right now because, right? But like, everyone's got their own world that we know nothing about. We don't understand everything that someone's going through. We don't really understand anything that someone else is going through because what they're going through contains the context of all of their collective experiences, which we have never truly experienced any of, right? But yet we still say, you should have done this, you should have done that. And now this person may feel an immense amount of guilt over this because they just wanted to support a loved one or someone that they felt was like truly needed to be seen because maybe they passed away or were going to pass away, right? When in reality, this fighting for this thing that's not in our control is just essentially creating this fight, this endless fight. And I think the more we can kind of let go and be at peace with what is and decide, like, if I look to all these external things for safety, I'm never going to be safe because external things are always going to be changing and there's always going to be something I could wish to tweak to make myself feel a little safer. If I accept that I accept where I'm at, I accept what is, I'm as safe as I can be, really. So, and make decisions to take yourself out of situations that are in your control, right? Like if you're standing over a fire, step off the fire, right? But all these external things aren't as easy to control, and focus on controlling things that are in your power internally. And I think when you realize that you can control your own emotions on some levels, that can be really, really powerful for reducing your desire for all these external things. And there's actually a lot more power than we think in controlling our own emotions. And I think I'll discuss that in another video. But that's it for today's video. So just to wrap up, try to give yourself things that you need out there. Try to acknowledge what's out of your control. Give yourself what you can so that you're no longer going to seek it, so that you're no longer going to unconsciously do things that may harm other people that you may regret later, to feel like you're getting something that's ultimately out of your control. Hope this video is helpful. Hope it provides some good insight. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can comment down below. And as always, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you guys have a great day.